What is good, everyone? Welcome to today's aftermarket trade recap. Just wanted to get into it early in the day here since I was supposed to record yesterday or the day before as well, and I did not. So now that the trade's over with and everything like that, just want to make sure I get to recording because, again, like, been journaling still, but then I forget to record after. So, anyways, jumping right into it. I was up pretty early this morning. I was on during the pre-market, and now before I get into this, yeah, I usually don't trade during pre-market just because usually I'm not even like up this early. But this setup here was looking really good, where we fake tapped into or like almost tapped into equilibrium, came back up, but shorts were or it was still looking like we wanted to at least tap into that equilibrium just because of the fact that we left this LRL here, and this was kind of forming like an accumulation, manipulation, distribution. And I was looking at this setup. I had drawn out the LRL here. Originally, I thought maybe I'd get an inversion here, and I was not in the house. I was in the car driving to the airport to drop somebody off, or I was in the passenger seat. But anyways, I went on my phone, or I was on my phone, and I was not on the charts when this happened right here. So yeah, we didn't get the inversion right here, but there was a small 1 minute that could have been taken here. The entry here stops at this high, and then take profit at the equilibrium, which would have been very nice, especially the delivery. But yeah, there's nothing I can really do about it. It was a missed setup. By the time I had got back on the chart, candle or price action was right here. Obviously, I'm not going to enter around there. So yeah, just something I figured I'd mention just for myself as well, just because it is a setup that I was looking at, and it did end up working out there. But I mean, again, it's kind of all just like, I forget how to even say that word. I can't even think of it off the top of my head. But just hypothetical, because like, again, like, I don't trade pre-market, so who knows if I for sure would have taken it, if I would have hesitated, everything like that. But definitely was a good setup to look at there. Now coming into the actual New York AM session, we had, just so I can show you guys real quick, I'll turn on the um, indicator. So we had Asian highs up here, previous session highs, and then equal highs up here, all that stuff, yada yada. So pretty much, we moved up. We had a huge expansion move up, and it seems like that's been happening recently right at open. And then price action just starts to kind of barcode or die out, as you can see here. And it's really unfortunate because I knew this would kind of happen when starting to trade my eval, or not my eval, my evaluation or performance accounts and express account through Top Step and Apex. I kind of figured as soon as I start actively trading them that, I was going to run into some issues with price action or something. I don't know. It was kind of a hunch, and of course I am. So I am down a little bit on both accounts. I have taken a decent amount of trades, so I can't really say like I'm necessarily disappointed in the fact that my risk management has been really good. Again, once price action starts to pick up, I have one good setup. It can totally wipe out both of the losses on the accounts. So it's more so the fact of just waiting till good price action, waiting for price action to clear up, as price action has not really been the best recently, and I've run into a lot of break-even trades or just losses, which is, affecting my profits, because if I can't, you know, it's all a game of probabilities. If every time I'm taking a trade and it's break even, like blah blah blah, loss, then it's affecting my profitability wise. So yeah, if that kind of makes sense. Anyways, though, there was this setup here that I was looking at, and I will say the one thing that I've been running into a lot with setups is just the lack of delivery through an inversion fair value gap. So that's one thing I'm going to start being cautious for as well now going forward. If it does take a few candles to actually get through it, more than two necessarily, I'll say, and I'm just seeing rejection off the fair value gap, then yeah, I'm just not going to take the setup, and that's kind of what I ran into today. So again, we had the huge expansion move up. Let me revert that back. And we just had like an order block. Again, we had the equal highs up here. Like, the drawn liquidity as far as itself looks really good. And the longs themselves were looking really good around this time because, again, we were still moving up. And then it's just, of course, by the time that the setup presented itself is kind of when price action started to slow down. and it got a strong delivery after about, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 candles. So it's just that rejection right there is showing, you know, signs of that it's probably not a good idea to take it, and I should have just listened. We ended up getting the inverse, and I did wait for a pullback somewhere around here. And I mean, again, it's just so tempting when you see all these equal highs. Like we had equal highs here, and then the ones up here. Again, maybe I even would have just taken profit here depending on how price react, because this was some news candle, unexpected news that came out. I don't know what that alert was, but okay. And yeah, so just entered and pretty much in drawdown, and then yeah, eventually just stopped out, and that it is what it is. Now, I will say that, you know, I did manage risk well. I did lose just a tiny bit more, like 20, 30 bucks more than I would have on each account, but that's not a huge deal. But yeah, I don't know. It just, again, price action right now, not the best. I have been taking a lot of break even trades and then a few losses, which is not helping, like I had said. So I'm definitely going to, one, be more cautious when it comes to the price delivery through the inversions, as well as, you know, recognizing what's been happening. Again, like I said, it's we've had an expansion move up in the New York AM, and then we just chop around once we get into that 10 to 10:30 range. And then sometimes we've been having expansion moves during 11 and lunch hour, but again, I'm not going to trade lunch hours either way. So, yeah, just that's the two things I would say to take away for me personally from uh, today and the past and going forward. So yeah, that is it for today. Hopefully throughout, what's today, Wednesday, I believe. Hopefully throughout the rest of the week, maybe we start to see things change. But either way, I'm not going to be trading anything until price action starts to clear up. So yeah, that's it for today. I'll see you guys either sometime this week or next week. Peace out.